afternoon, everybody. Welcome inside the St. Margaret Centre. It's game number 2 of this Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League Provincial Play-In Series between the Martello Buccaneers, who are hosting the Fundy Thunder here at home for game number 2. The Thunder took care of business last weekend in Truro to take the series lead. As the Buccaneers looking to even up the series. They'll have a new goaltender tonight. Callum Kelly gets the start for the Bucks, while Callum DeWolf will make his second straight appearance in net. He won game 1, so they're going to put him in for game 2. Roach against Ulof for the opening face-off. Buccaneers with their season on the line here at home, looking to extend the series and extend their season, and we are underway live from Upper Tantallon. There's going to be a shot on goal. DeWolf will make no mistake and cover things up. Of course, Callum DeWolf played for the Buccaneers last season. Got released from the team in tryouts, made its way over to the Fundy Thunder, has found a home in Truro. He now has a chance to end his former team's season tonight with a victory. They'll drop the puck to his blocker's side. 6 seconds into the first period, Roach against Moore, this time for the face-off. Puck dropped. Atkinson will take over for Fundy. He'll flick it through center. Puck will bounce on the stick of Luke Murphy. Murphy has played plenty of games for the March and Milko Hunters in the U18 Major League this season. That's going to be a shot on from McClellan. There's an early scrum in front of the net. And here we go. A conundrum in front of DeWolf's crease. Just 20 seconds into game 2. Already some bad blood. The crowd is into it now. You can see the sign behind DeWolf crease, go Bucks go. It looks like Pridham out of the box, and he'll be joined by Warwick. So one player on each side will head to the box. Roughing is the call for both teams. It will remain 5-on-5. Pretty physical start here in game number 2. It is loud here at the Fountain Ice at the St. Margaret Centre. Morrison in for the face-off as the head coach Connor Miller for the Fundy Thunder get an explanation on the penalty call there. Miller, a long-time coach of the Thunder, looking to upset the Buccaneers and send his team over to number 2 for the Provincials Championships playoffs tournament, which will be next weekend. Of course, you can watch that on High Button Sports as well. Here's McIver. McIver had a couple of goals in game 1. He has the puck now. He'll play it over to Ulof. Ulof shot towards the goal. That's going to be the first save of the series for Callum Kelly. Gets his pad on the puck. Here comes Harlow. Mason Harlow will try and take it wide. Shot will go off the pad of DeWolf. Rebound in the corner behind the net. Bucks still have it. Looking to play to the line. It's going to go off a Thunder stick. Chance to clear for Cogger. It's going to be kept in by Castle Bellin. That's retrieved as Pitts. Pitts will go D to D. Pass up ahead. Here's Cogger. He'll go off the glass, trying to clear the zone. Bellin will glove that down. Bellin avoids the hit, but eventually gets taken off the puck by Parker. As Krause on the forecheck, I'm going to dig the puck loose. We're a minute and 15 into game 2. First game of the day on a long slate of games on High Button Sports Saturday. Thank you for tuning in for this one. Puck comes free in the corner. Bear looking to clear. Bear had an assist in game 1. Puck comes free. Here's Cochran in front from Ombercat. One-touch pass will be fanned on, trying to get that one on net, as that will be chipped past Kieran at the blue line, and that will be an icing call against the Thunder, who cannot change due to the fact that they ice the puck. Some tired bodies out there. Pretty good start here for the Bucks at home, looking to tie the series and extend their season. Cogger in for the draw against Momberket. Momberket scored in game 1. He had a great regular season, as Baird will head into the face-off to replace Cogger. There's a shot to face-off from Selvin. It's going to be blocked on its way through. Here's McIver. McIver will chip it out the glass. Going to come free for Dodge. Here's Cohen Dodge on his own blue line. Up for Krause here on the Buccaneers, but Krause can't enter the zone cleanly. Parker will chip it ahead looking for Maddox Rennie. Rennie had 3 points in game 1. That's going to be sent in deep by Dodge. Back to retrieve it is Parker. Good forecheck from the Buccaneers will prevent a clean breakout for the Thunder. Puck is still in their zone. Here's Sullivan. Sullivan up in front there looking for Gwynn Timothy. That's going to be saved by Callum DeWolf. There's a shot from Bailey. That's going to be whistled down as the net came off of DeWolf's moorings there. That will stop play. Plenty of U16 AAA playoff games on the schedule today. The Battle of New Brunswick and the Battle of PEI are going on. Dukes and Rebels, a great rivalry over in PEI, and then the Vitoes and Thunderbirds, Kings and Valley, playing their game 2, while the V's and the Armada will play at 7 o'clock over in Bedford. V's with a big upset win in game 1. Armada finished 30 points ahead of the V's in the standings, and V's able to get the win over at Cole Harbour Place on Monday. The V's have a chance to end the Armada season. This is the pass over to Van Tassel. Puck comes free, neutral ice. Bailey pokes it ahead. Rennie looking for the loose puck. It's him and Mahoney battle for it. It's going to come free at center. Poked ahead by Van Tassel. That's going to be sent into the zone. Back to retrieve is Nathan Laba. He'll go forehand up the wall, finds Rennie. Rennie takes a hit, trying to make the play. That's a turnover. There's a chance in front. That's going to be blocked. Nice defensive effort by Van Tassel, the AP defenseman. So Stemble trying to move the puck. Gets it over to Laba. Laba up for Cochran. That will escape the zone. No icing is the call. Back to retrieve is Roach. Roach will shoulder check before picking up the puck. Has Rennie on the forecheck, gives him a reverse hit. Comes free, Bellin. Sends it over to Probert. Probert played for the Kings Hockey Club last season. Now has a home here in his overage year with the Buccaneers. Here's McClellan. McClellan will take it wide, looking to go towards the goal as he's fought off by Lex McKenzie. Here's Roach. Roach towards the goal. It's going to go off a body in front as the Buccaneers crowd ready to erupt here at home. Carla Mara will send it in deep. It's going to rim its way around the wall. Back up top. It's going to be turned over. Here comes Jacob Cogger. Cogger will get the red line and send it in deep. No icing on the play. Here's Myra back to retrieve. That's going to be turned over. Good forecheck from Cogger. As he has the puck down low. Cogger looking in front for Gagnon out of his reach. Comes straight the line for Pitts. Pitts down low is getting tangled up there was Frazier. That will free up the puck. 2-on-2 developing. Here come the Buccaneers. It's going to be a shot off the rush in the glove of DeWolf, and he'll stop play with the glove. And there's a bit of a extra shot after the whistle. Carter Myra getting in on the blue paint area. That's going to be a penalty against the captain. Or sorry, that is Mason Harlow, number 18, not 19. So Harlow takes a penalty. I believe that will be goalie interference. So the Fundy Thunder have a chance to open the scoring here in game 2 in the power play. Rennie, Singer, Cogger, Cochran, and Uloth out there. 4 forwards, 1 defense for this Thunder power play. Puck dropped, one back to the line. Here's Uloth over to Singer. Here is Cooper Singer. Will rim it around the wall. Comes free for Uloth to the opposite side. Uloth trying to hold the zone. Plays it down low. Here's Jude Cochran. Back up top for Uloth. Uloth, the captain, back for Cochran. Cochran will walk in, plays it down low. There's a chance for Cogger. Pass across, looking for Rennie. Couldn't finish it off in the back door. Here's Rennie in the corner, looking to get by the defender. Up for Cooper Singer. Singer has it over for Uloth. Uloth down low for Cochran. Here's Jude Cochran looking to center it. It's going to go off a stick of the Buccaneer. Comes free. Here's Rennie over across. Finds Cochran down low. Centering pass will just go wide of the net. Here's Singer off the rebound off the side of the cage. And that will be clear to the blue line. And that will just escape the zone. Uloth can't hold the blue line. As Uloth will enter the zone offside. That will stop play. 1:09 to go on the Bucks penalty. 14:56 remaining in the first. Just past the 5-minute mark of the opening frame. Puck is dropped. It's going to be one back by the Buccaneers, and they will clear it down. Out to play it is DeWolf. DeWolf leaves it for Simon Pitts. Pitts has the puck behind his own net in the power play. Pitts up the wall, finds McIver. Puck comes free for Warwick. Warwick will chip into the zone. Gavin Moore on the forecheck against Cameron Bailey. There's a bit of a dust up behind the net. Puck will come free. Played up the wall. It's going to be sent down low. Here's Bailey over to Murphy. Luke Murphy has the puck. Will try and clear. That's going to be kept in at the line by McIver as he's forced out of the zone. Good defensive stick on the other side by Jade Pridham. Here comes McIver. He'll try and burst wide. McIver, 30 seconds to go in the power play. Reverses his man to the wall. That was Murphy. Puck comes free. Chance for Bailey to clear, and he will do just that. Here's Pitts, and that's going to be whistled down for the high stick, which will stop play with 18 seconds remaining on the Thunder power play here in Upper Tantallon. Fundy trying to punch their ticket to member 2 next week for the Provincial Championship Series. McClellan against Gavin Moore for the face-off inside the Thunder zone. Puck won back for the Fundy Thunder. Here's Pitts. He'll go off the wall looking for Warwick, but nobody was home. It's going to be kept in by Dodge. He'll take a hit from Warwick as he dumps it back in. Here's Pitts over to Atkinson. Atkinson will put the brakes on his own blue line. Plays it back as the penalty is about to expire. We're back to 5 apiece as there's a hit on Parker. Here's Pitts trying to start the breakout. Gets by the first wave of defenders, but Harlow strips him of the puck. DD pass finds Carter Curtin. Curtin up the boards, finds McClellan. McClellan will chip it into the zone. Back to retrieve it is Van Tassel. Van Tassel gets pinned to the boards. Puck comes free. Here comes Moore. Moore gets by Harlow in the neutral ice. Gavin Moore will walk in and shoot one just wide past the glove side of Kelly. Here's Frazier. Frazier will rim it around the wall. Picked off by Carter Myra. Myra has the puck. Over to Bellin. Cassie Bellin will go across the ice. Going to be off the stick of Harlow. Offside of the Thunder, so they can't go forecheck. Here comes Carter Myra. Myra gets the red line and will dump it in deep. To Wolf out to play. That will hop over his stick. Comes free for Harlow down low. Harlow will try and cycle it back in deep. Hits a stick that will bounce its way out of the zone. 7 minutes have gone here in the first period. And the forecheck is Cogger. He'll free up the puck, but Morrison there to intercept it. Morrison back for Myra. Up for Bellin. He'll chip it ahead. Here comes Mason Harlow with it now. Harlow will send it in deep. Here's a pass for Probert. Couldn't center it on goal. Looking in front for Oliver Morrison. That would have been a beautiful goal to open the scoring here in game 2, but good defensive stick prevents that. Here's Van Tassel. Looking up ice. Will play it over to Laba. Laba wins the battle. Plays it up the wall. It's going to be chipped off the boards. It's kept in at the line. Van Tassel takes the puck from his goaltender to Wolf. Van Tassel will go off the glass. Going to clear, and just does that. There's a chance for Maddox Rennie. Rennie couldn't get by the defender. It's going to come free the other side for Probert. Probert up for Morrison. Here come the Buccaneers. Morrison will drop it back for Probert. Probert's shot will go off a stick him out of the net. Murphy will hold the line. Murphy down low. Looking for Kraus. That's going to get past him. Comes free for Laba. Here's Singer. Cooper Singer. Up for Baird. Number 67 Baird will go up the wall looking for Cochran. That's going to miss him, and that will go all the way down for an icing call. 11:45 to go here in the first period of game number 2. Thunder won 5-3 over in Truro on Monday. The Colchester Legion Stadium. That was the Thunder's last home game of the year. They're looking to eliminate the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers looking to extend their year in this best of 3 play-in series for the Provincial Championship tournament, which will be next week. Here's Rennie trying to clear it. It's going to go off a body in the process. Played back. Singer has it, trying to stretch the zone. It's going to go off the neck of Kraus, and it's stuck in his body, and that will stop play. Face-off will be just outside the Thunder zone on the near side. Still no score here in game number 2. Monberquette against Eula for the draw. Puck hits the ice. One back. Here's Singer. Cooper Singer sends it over. It's going to be played up ahead by Jack White and sent into the zone, and that will be an icing call. Both teams still in the feeling out process in the early goings of game number 2. In playoff hockey this time of year, you try to limit your mistakes to prevent the other team from scoring. So both teams trying to play some safe hockey here. Nothing too flashy or crazy, just trying to get pucks deep and work it down low. You don't want to be the guy who makes the wrong play and costs your team the season. Here comes Cogger. As that will be intercepted and neutral ice by the Buccaneers. Pridham will redirect that into the corner. Back to retrieve it is White. He'll go over to Cooper Singer. Singer looks up ice for an option. He'll take a hit in the corner, looking to make a play. 2-on-2 down low. Approaching the halfway mark of the first. Roach up for Bellin. Bellin shot through the screen off the stick of DeWolf. Rebound comes up top for Myra. Myra looking to sift her one through. It's going to be directed just wide off the backhand of the man parked in front. Here's McIver for the Thunder. Through the middle, looking for Ulof just out of his reach. Ulof trying to work it in deep as Bellin finds it down low. There's Cassie Bellin. Will rim it up the wall. Finds Monberquette. Here's McClellan. McClellan will ditch it off for Pridham. Back for... That's going to be intercepted on its way to McClellan. Here is the Thunder now. Cogger has it. Cogger stays onside. He'll enter the zone of the near side wall. He'll get taken down to the corner. Comes free up top for McKenzie. His shot will go off a stick and up and out of play. That hits the top of the scoreboard behind Kelly's crease. Just about halfway through period number 1. No score yet here in game 2. Face off we go blocker side of Callum Kelly, who has not seen much action here in the first, making his playoff debut. It's going to be one back for the Bucks in their own zone. Sent up ahead. Here comes Gwyn Timothy. He'll send it into the opposite corner. That's going to make its way on net, and that will be covered up by DeWolf as he gets a snow shower from his former teammates. As we're 2 seconds past the halfway mark now of the opening period. Mahoney in for the draw against Moore to the blocker side of DeWolf. Puck hits the ice. One back for the Buccaneers. There's Dodge over to Curtin. Curtin will walk it and shoot one. It's going to be stopped by DeWolf. No rebound. DeWolf seeing lots of action so far, but he's been able to see the puck well. Defense are doing a good job of clearing the players in front of him so he can see the puck. Mahoney against Moore for the face-off. Puck dropped. One back for the Bucks. Gwyn Timothy looking for Dodge, but he was outside the zone. As will be forced to retreat in neutral ice. Comes free for Gavin Moore as him and Theo Harapoulos collide. I've practiced that name all morning long and I still butchered it there. Theo Harapoulos, number 11. Here's Curtin. Curtin up the wall for Gwyn Timothy. It's going to be chipped into the zone off of his stick. Hits back to retrieve the puck. Will go backhand. Intercepted by Theo Harapoulos. Comes free in the slot. Here's Curtin looking to send it towards the goal. Gwyn Timothy back for Curtin in the corner. It's going to come free in front of the net, but cleared away. Here's Mahoney up top. Mahoney can't hold the line as he takes a piece of Atkinson on the way to the puck. Disrupts the potential 2-on-1 the other way. As there's a hit on Bailey as he dumps it in. Pretty physical start here in game 2. There's Parker down low for Pitts. That will just bounce over his stick behind the net. 9 minutes to go here in the first. Here's Parker. He'll rim it up the wall. Looking for a man in neutral zone. That's Ulof. He'll get taken to the wall by Bailey. Still makes the play up ahead. Here comes Ulof from his knees. We'll let a shot go off the stick of Kelly and in the corner. There's Gagnon pitching it into the zone. He's going to play to the opposite corner. Here's Harlow in his own zone. Harlow over to Luke Murphy. Murphy will look for an option up the ice. He'll flick it through the middle. That's going to bounce over the stick of Oliver Morrison. Played up the boards by the Bucks. Here's Ulof. Ulof, the veteran captain in his second season for Fundy. He'll try and work it in deep. That's going off a shin pad. Here's Bailey. Bailey over to Murphy. Murphy trying to spin off the check of Frazier, but he gets pinned to the boards. Comes free for Laba. Laba's shot will go wide of the net past the glove side. As here's Van Tassel pinching it in. He'll take a head as he makes the play. Here's Gagnon. Gagnon got taken to the wall. Bailey pins into the boards. Comes free. From the Buccaneers, captained by Ulof. Good forecheck from Fundy in this shift. Here's Murphy in his own corner. He'll flick it up and out of play. That hit the netting. That will stop things here just past the 12-minute mark of the first. 7:58 to go. Still no score here in game 2. The Valley and Kings getting underway in just a moment over in Sackville for their game 2. Kings have a 1-0 series lead. Jets and Cabot's game over in Cape Breton got canceled today, so we'll have to redo that one. Bit of bad weather up there past the Cape Breton border. These and Armada will play game 2 at 7 o'clock in Bedford, and then the Dukes and Rebels and the Vitoes and Thunderbirds will play tonight as well. So a full slate of U16 AAA action on highbuttonsports.ca. Here's Kelly over to Bellin. There's it over for Myra. Looking to clear the zone. It's going to be kept in at the line. Puck is bouncing. Bellin corrals it. 7:15 to go here in the first period. There's a head out at the puck. Here comes Cooper Singer. He'll spin a pass to the middle. It's going to be intercepted. Here's Ben Sullivan. Sullivan can't clear the zone as Cochran will get a good forecheck going there as Bellin nearly kicked that into his own net as the late offside will cause a whistle. Seven minutes to go here in the first. Still no scoring. No shot on goal clock, but I'd say the shots are pretty even now. The Buccaneers definitely had a good early surge, but the Fundy had a few shots on the power play to even things up. Here's McClellan looking to dance through the defenders. Comes free for Pridham. Pridham trying to cycle it up the wall. Picked up by Warwick. Here's Moore looking to clear. That will get to the line. Kept in by Luke Murphy. Murphy will walk to the middle and shoot one. Just tipped wide. Here's Bailey on the opposite wall. Bailey back for Murphy up top. Murphy will walk in and shoot one on through the screen. Rebound cleared away. Hits a body in front. As there's a cross check in front of the net. Arm stays down from the referee. Playoff hockey, folks. It's going to be sent in deep. Here's Bailey. Over to Murphy. Murphy up for McClellan. He'll take a hit. Comes free, neutral ice. Roach can't get by Atkinson on the forecheck. He'll still send it back towards the Buccaneers zone. There's a hit on the wall from Moore. Pass it back looking for Roach. Out of his reach. His back to retrieve is Lex McKenzie. Up ahead for Cogger. He finds Gavin Moore streaking towards the other side. It's going to be out of his reach as Cogger will dump it in as Moore was offside. Kelly leaves it for Carter Myra. 6 minutes to go in the first. Turned over by McIver in the forecheck. McIver down low. One touch pass to the slot. Here's Ulof. Forehand shot. Kept out by Kelly. That's a big stop for the Buccaneers netminder. Point blank. With Jacob Cogger. He found Ulof, and that's a huge momentum boost for the Buccaneers. Their season on the line. They don't want to give up the first goal. Kelly comes up big in the crease. Here's Parker. Shot off the faceoff will deflect up and out of play. Quick whistle. Grade A chance, point blank, but Kelly shuts the door. Uloth in for the draw against Logan Mahoney to the blocker side of Kelly. 5:45 remaining. Puck dropped. Comes free for the Buccaneers. Here's Carter Curtin over to Dodge. Dodge up the wall. It's going to come free on the boards for Theohorapoulos. Turned over. Here's Curtin. Curtin up for Gwyn Timothy. That's going to be sent back in deep by Parker at the blue line. Here's Theohorapoulos. We'll play it down low for Dodge. It's going to be intercepted. Good forecheck by the Thunder. Here's Cogger. Down low for Ulof. Has McIver in front. Ulof in front for McIver. Stopped by Kelly on the doorstep. Another big save. The Buccaneers goalie. Here comes Mahoney the other way. Mahoney looking to force that in the zone. He's met there by Parker at the blue line. Gwyn Timothy finds it. He'll send it in deep. Laba back to retrieve it. Here's Nathan Laba with 5 minutes to go in the first period. Pass through center. Looking for the stick of Cogger. Picked up by Bailey. Bailey can't enter the zone cleanly. Good stick from Pitts will prevent the zone entry. Here's Murphy on the DDD pass. Murphy will get the red line. Takes a hit from McIver. Makes the play up ahead for Theohorapoulos. He'll send it in deep. Here's Pitts. Donald Parker has it up ahead. That's going to go off the skate of McIver. Comes free for Parker. Here's Max. Donald Parker shot off the rush. Will go high and wide past the left side. Comes free. Here's Baird. Baird on the back end. We'll try and work it in deep. It's going to be picked off. Chance it away. Here comes Probert for the Buccaneers with Harlow. Probert goes wide. Probert still has it. Pass in front. Harlow scores! Mason Harlow, the captain, opens the scoring here in game number 2. Great feed from Probert. Buccaneers strike first blood here at home. This crowd is into it now. Harlow from Probert. 4:17 to go in the first. Buccaneers had the first goal of game 2. Great burst of speed by the veteran Probert as he finds the captain Harlow right in front of the net. No chance for the Wolf there. You got to think back to that big save from Callum Kelly a few moments ago as his team now has a 1-0 lead. Here's Cochran looking to respond. Pass in front, just misses the stick of Maddox Rennie. Here's Singer pinching ahead. Comes straight up top for Baird. Baird's shot will be deflected wide of the net. That's going to sit behind the crease. Rennie looking for it. 4 minutes to go in the first. Rennie looking to poke it free as Harlow and him collide on the wall. Scrum in the corner, 2-on-2 down low. It's going to come free. Bellin finds it. Bellin will rim it around the wall. It's going to be kept in by Cooper Singer. Down low. He finds Maddox Rennie. Rennie gets tangled up as Baird on the forecheck gives a piece of Morrison on the wall. Here's Probert. Probert up for Harlow. Picked off by Cooper Singer. Here come the Thunder. Singer will walk it and shoot one in the chest. No rebound from Kelly. 3.5 to go. Buccaneers just opened the scoring. Mason Harlow from Jonathan Probert. Danielle against Marquette for the face-off to the blocker side of Kelly. Here's a chance for the Buccaneers to clear. It's going to come free neutral ice. Here's Parker. Parker will play it in the opposite corner. Back to retrieve his Dodge. Cohen Dodge will shoulder check and make the play up the ice. Chipped up ahead by Sullivan. As there's a collision in neutral ice. That's going to be a penalty on the play. Interference is the call. It will go against McIver. Buccaneers will head to the power play, their first of game number 2. McClellan, Murphy, Pridham, Morrison, and Sullivan. Or sorry, that's Lakeman Roach out there for the man advantage. Puck is dropped. There's Murphy up top. Over to McClellan on the half wall. He'll spin towards the wall. McClellan down low. Finds Morrison. Morrison up top for Murphy. Murphy will shoot one through the screen. Stop. Rebound! Kept out by DeWolf. DeWolf makes the save and the Thunder clear it down the ice. Big stop for number 29 in black. Keeps it 1-0. Here's McClellan. That's going to be chipped up ahead by Sullivan. As Pitts will find it over to Donald Parker. Parker fans in the clearing attempt. As he'll get taken into the boards by Sullivan. Puck comes free. Here's Roach. It's poked off the puck. Morrison finds it on the wall. 2.5 to go in the first. Buck still in the power play. Here is McClellan. He'll leave it for Murphy. Murphy down low. Finds Sullivan. Back up for Murphy on the half wall. Murphy up top. Finds McClellan. Back for Murphy. Murphy at the top of the circle will make a move. Plays it down low. Back up top for Murphy. Murphy for McClellan. McClellan shot through the screen looking for the tip in front for Sullivan. That will bounce off of his skate and wide of the net. Sullivan up top finds Roach. Roach will walk it and shoot one towards the goal. Tipped on net. That's going to be stopped by DeWolf. And he'll freeze play with the glove. Exactly 2 minutes to go in the frame. 46 seconds remaining on the McIver penalty. New unit out there for the Bucks power play. Pridham, Krause, Robert, Bailey, and Bellin as well. There's Bellin over to Probert. Probert puts the brakes on the half wall on the far side. Over across for Bailey. Bailey will walk in deep, puts it down low, looking for Krause. Just going off a body. 1:40 to go in the opening frame. Singer has it down low in the penalty kill. Comes free for Krause. Krause played up the boards. Here is Bailey. He'll walk the middle. Plays it over for Bellin. Bellin looking to fire it towards the goal. It's going to be fanned on. Here's Krause down low. Krause will make his way to the opposite corner. Right up top for Probert. Back end down low for Krause. Shot will go off the side of the net. As we're back to 5 apiece. McIver out of the box. Here's Krause. Krause. That will deflect off a stick. Comes straight up top for Bellin. Bellin down low for Krause. Krause has it. Takes a hit in front by White. Rebounds there. Pridham looking to jam that one through. That's going to be stopped by DeWolf. We have 61 seconds to go DeWolf stands his ground. Roach, Harlow, McClellan will head out there for the face-off of Curtin and Murphy. Baird out there with Cochran. And Rennie, puck will bounce out the wall. Up for Murphy. Murphy over for Curtin. Curtin will play towards the middle. It's going to be off a stick. Looking for Roach in the bumper position. That will be flicked up and high, and that will hit the ceiling, and that will stop play with 45 seconds remaining. Face-off will be inside the Thunder zone. Baird against Roach for the draw. Puck hits the ice. Scrum draw comes free down low for White. White over to Singer. Cooper Singer will try and clear the zone. It's going to be off a body kept in. He'll take a hit from McClellan in the corner. Here's White. White puts the brakes on. He'll try and make a play. He'll go off the glass looking for Baird. Baird will poke it ahead. Off the shin pad of Curtin. Here comes Rennie. Rennie will walk it in. Shoe unblocked with the stick of Murphy, and that will go out of play. .24.5 seconds remaining in the first period. Mason Harlow has the only goal so far from a pass from Jonathan Probert. Ulof in for the draw. One back, comes free. Here's Rennie. Shot will go out wide of the net. 20 seconds to go. Here's Van Tassel. He'll work it in deep. Roach intercepts it. Finds Mara in the corner. Mara up ahead for Harlow. Here come the Buccaneers. 2-on-1. Harlow and McClellan over across McClellan. That will bounce off of his stick. Good opportunity there for the Bucks to make it 2-0. There's a chance with 3 seconds to go. Rennie's got to shoot. He's got no time left. He'll get a shot off, but that will go wide of the net. And that's going to do it for the first 20 minutes. A great opening frame here in Game 2. Both teams went to the locker room. As the Zamboni hit the ice, you're tuned to High Button Sports. You're watching our coverage of the Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League playoffs. Period number 2 coming up after the break. Welcome back inside the St. Margaret Center. It's game number 2 of this best of 3 play-in series, trying to get to the provincial championship tournament over in member 2, the Buccaneers and the Thunder up here in Upper 10 Talent. Bucks have a 1-0 lead after the first 20 minutes. It was the captain, Mason Harlow, off a feed from Jonathan Probert to open the scoring. We are now underway here in the second. Callum the Wolf will get an early test as that'll make its way right on him. And just like the first period started, an early scrum after the first whistle. Shots were 17-6 in favor of the Bucks after the first period. De Wolf was excellent against his former team, keeping things close for his team here in game 2. They have a 1-0 series lead after winning game 1 over in Truro on Monday. It's going to be 1 ahead. Here comes Atkinson. He'll chip into the zone, looking at the puck in on the forward check, looking to tie the game. Atkinson has the puck in the corner. Will take a hit from a Buccaneer player. That is Pridham. His pass will float through center, looking for Roach. Comes free for Cooper Singer. Singer over cross for Van Tassel. Will try to clear the zone. Gets hit off the puck. Van Tassel will get the puck back. That's going to be pinned to the wall. Atkinson looking to get the puck loose. It's going to be kept in by the Buccaneers. As Van Tassel up for Warwick. He finds Atkinson. Atkinson one-on-one will get directed to the wall. As him and Murphy collide, looking for the loose puck. It's going to be sent in deep. Here's Bailey. Bailey up for Murphy. Murphy sent it through the middle. Finds McClellan. Here's Isaac McClellan. Will try and drop it for Roach as that will be steered away. Here's Maddox Rennie. Rennie up for Atkinson at the end of his shift. Will try and reach the puck, but it can't do so as McClellan stands up Singer on neutral ice on the reverse hit. Pretty physical start here in game 2. Here is McCochran as Morrison finds it. Baird will work it in deep. Here's Murphy up the wall for McClellan. McClellan can't get it out of the zone. It's going to be kept in by Parker. Here's Morrison. Will flick it through the center of the ice as Parker back to retrieve the dump in. Fundy have it. Here's White up the boards looking for Baird. Him and Cochran going up the ice together. Cochran's shot will go into the chest of Callum Kelly and he'll stop play. About 2 minutes have gone in the second. Still 1-0 here in game 2. Rennie will take the face-off against Morrison inside the Buccaneers zone. One back for Pitts. Pitts down low. It's going to be off a skate. Here's Dodge. Dodge over to Harlow. He finds Probert. Probert will enter the zone. Drops it back for Harlow. Harlow's shot will go into the glove of DeWolf. No rebound. DeWolf makes a save and freezes play. Another scrum in front of his net. Morrison against Ulof for the face-off inside the Thunder zone. Puck dropped, one back to the wall. Here's Curtin. He'll backhand one in deep, finds Morrison in the corner. Morrison gets pinned to the boards. 2-on-2 down low ensues. Comes free. Here's Cogger with a chance to clear. Cogger through the middle of the ice finds Ulof. Over to McIver. 2-on-2. McIver puts the brakes on and will play it down low looking for Ulof, but he got his stick lifted by Curtin. Here's Harlow. Rim it back around the wall for Dodge. Going Dodge. As he'll take a hit, making the play. Here's Probert through center. Finds Harlow. There's a penalty behind the play. As we did not see what happened there. Tripping is a signal. Camera did not catch that one. Dodge is down. Fundy fans do not like it. Did not see it myself, but you can hear the reaction from the crowd, I'm sure. So it'll be another Buccaneers power play. A 4-minute opportunity for them on the man advantage. Roach, Murphy, Morrison, Pridham, and McClellan went out there. Laba, Cogger, Uloth, and Singer out there to try and kill this one off. Here's Murphy up for Roach. Roach over the half wall for McClellan. Back up top for Roach. Roach back for McClellan. McClellan's shot will go into the chest of the Wolf, who makes no mistake and will freeze play. Kings and Wildcats underway over in Sackville for game 2. Kings looking to punch their ticket as well to number 2. Of course, the Cape Breton Jets are hosting the provincial championship tournament over at their home rink in number 2 Cape Breton. Jets will automatically have a spot in the tournament as hosts, and so will the Cabot Highlanders, who they're playing in playoffs, as the Highlanders came first in the regular season, which is an automatic berth in the provincial championship. Here's a rebound shot, and the Wolf able to fight that one off, and he'll freeze play. Just past the 3-minute mark. 29 seconds have gone on the double minor to McIver, who has 6 minutes of penalty so far in game 2. Puck dropped. One back. Here's Murphy's shot will go into the glove of DeWolf once again. No rebounds from the former Buccaneer goaltender. Big crowd on hand trying to get the Thunder off of their game in the corner there. Puck is dropped. There's Roach. He'll fire it down low, looking for Morrison out of his reach. Here's McClellan. McClellan up top for Murphy. Luke Murphy will make his way to the middle on the blue line. Down low on the half wall for McClellan. McClellan will make his way towards the goal as he'll get taken down. Him and Singer collide. Singer battling down low for the puck. It's going to come free up the wall. Here's Pridham. Pridham up top for Murphy. Here's Luke Murphy on the blue line. He'll dance his way to the middle. Over to Pridham on the half wall. Down low finds Morrison. Morrison looking for an option. Back up top for Murphy. Murphy will make a few moves and eventually shoot it up high past the glove over the net. Here's McClellan on the half wall. McClellan up top for Murphy. Murphy will hesitate and eventually shoot one that will go off the pad of DeWolf. Here's Pridham. Has the puck behind the net for the Bucks on the power play. Up for McClellan. McClellan's shot will go through the screen off the pad of DeWolf. McClellan finds it again off the rebound. McClellan up for Murphy. Murphy back for McClellan. McClellan across for Roach. That will bounce off the wall as he is able to hold the line, but he'll throw it outside the zone. Fundy can now change on the penalty kill. Here is Kelly. Kelly, watch out there! And only put it in his own net. Unintentionally, that would have been something else. As that will be cleared down the ice for an icing call against the Bucks. Callum Kelly almost scored on his own net, but it is still 1-0. 2:06 to go in the double minor. Here's Luke Mombercat against Baird for the draw. Buccaneers have some tired players out there as they just ice the puck. As Murphy went to the bench right off the face-off win. Buccaneers will take their time behind the net, trying to set up on the power play breakout. That's going to be turned over in front. There's a chance for Cochran, but he couldn't finish off the move as he got a piece of the puck on the breakout pass. Here's Probert. Probert will make his way up the wall. He'll work it in deep. Probert in the corner had a nice assist in the first goal. There's a pass in front looking for Bailey. Off a stick, comes free for Bellin. Sullivan down low. Here's Bellin. Will spin towards the corner. Up top finds Jonathan Probert. Probert will switch spots in the blue line. Leaves it for Bailey. Over to Mombercat. Mombercat up for Bellin. Bellin will walk in and shoot one off the stick and wide as Sullivan redirected one just past the net. There's Mombercat. Over to Probert, who'll let a shot go through the screen. Rebounds there. The Wolf makes the save. Played up to the line. Here is Probert. Over to Bellin. Bellin will play it down low. Here's Sullivan in the corner. Sullivan will work his way down behind the net. Sullivan in the opposite corner will turn over to Cochran. Here comes Jude Cochran, short-handed, looking to get by Bellin, but he can't do so. That'll be cleared to center. Picked up by Probert. Here come the Buccaneers. Probert will work it wide. Shot will go past the glove side. That's going to rim its way around the wall. That will be cleared down the ice by the Thunder. 30 seconds to go, the double minor penalty, as Kelly will poke it ahead. Here's McClellan. Isaac McClellan, as that's going to bounce off his stick, comes free for Roach. Roach will play it back in his own zone of the power play with 20 seconds to go. Lakeland Roach has Warwick in on the forecheck, trying to bait him out behind the net. 15 seconds to go on the power play. As Murphy will get the line and send it in deep. Rims around the wall. Here's McClellan. We'll try and work it up top. That's going to be poked out of the zone by Atkinson. Back to retrieve it is Murphy. Murphy will go out the wall, finds McClellan. Back to 5-on-5. Big kill for the Thunder. Here's Harlow. Mason Harlow in front. Tipped on goal. And they score! Jaden Pridham gets a stick on the puck in front of the net. Buccaneers have doubled up their lead. It's 2-0. Just as the power play expired, Buccaneers are up by 2 goals here in the second period. Great feed from the captain, Mason Harlow. Finished off by Jaden Pridham. And it is now 2-0 here in game 2. Thunder just killed off the double minor penalty, but they cannot contain enough, as that will make it a 2-0 score. Here's Frazier in the corner. Frazier through the middle of the ice. Picked up by Cogger. Thunder could use a goal here soon. Cogger's shot will go wide of the net. And there's a hit after the fact. There's Frazier. Frazier looking to get by the defender. There's a cross check from the back. It's going to be no penalty on the play. Here comes Gwyn Timothy. We'll work it wide. Gwyn Timothy trying to get by White, but can't get by his stick. Here's Carter Myra up top. Myra's shot low. Tipped on goal. Rebound cleared away. Directed just wide of the net. Here's Mahoney. She'll ship it down deep. Finds Singer. Singer looking for White on the D2D pass down low. Played up top. Chance to clear for the Fundy Thunder. It's going to get past Myra at the blue line. Here's Bellin in his own zone. Bellin up ahead. Watch out as Singer pinching through. Lays out his man right in front of his bench. That was Gwyn Timothy on the other side of that Cooper Singer body check, as there's a response from Gwyn Timothy. Here's Myra. Myra will nearly turn over behind the net, but makes its way over the opposite corner. Here's Rennie, and then on the forecheck. As we are 8 minutes into the second period. Comes free down low. Here's Theo Harapoulos. Theo Harapoulos trying to work it up ahead for Krause. It's going to go off a stick, and that will be played with a high stick, and that will stop play. 11:49 to go. In the second period, Buccaneers just scored to make it 2-0 here in game 2. They're down 1-0 in the series, looking to extend their season here at home. Game 3 would be tomorrow here at the SMC. Puck shots, one back. Here's Myra, loses the puck. Here comes Rennie all alone. Maddox running towards the goal. Can't get the shot off. Might have been hooked on the way through, but there's no call on the play, as that will be sent in deep. Sullivan looking to clear the zone. Kept in by Baird. He'll glove it down. Baird trying to work his way towards the goal. That's going to go off a stick. Here's Sullivan. Sullivan up ahead. Here comes Krause the other way. Krause trying to go wide. Krause towards the net. Looking to center it in front. Marmarcat can't finish it off. DeWolf makes a save on the goal line. Just getting enough of that one was the Thunder netminder. Keeps it 2-0. Glorious chance for the Bucks to extend their lead, but DeWolf shuts the door. They'll drop the puck to the blocker side of Callan DeWolf. Marmarcat against Moore for the face-off. Puck is dropped. One to the wall with the Thunder as Parker can't accept the pass down low. Krause on the forecheck, looking to dig the puck loose. Here's Marmarcat. Marmarcat looking to get that off the wall. 11 minutes to go in the second. Comes free for Sullivan, over to Dodge. Dodge to the top of the circle. Shot will go off the pad. Rebound cleared away by Pitts. Comes free for Dodge. He avoids the hit. Warwick finds it. Warwick will play it down low. Finds Pitts. That will go off his skate of Atkinson. Played up ahead for Moore. Just out of his reach as Curtin will collect it and play it off the wall. Marmarcat can't accept the pass, as that's going to come free for Sullivan. Up ahead for Krause. Picked off by Parker. Here's Curtin on his own blue line. Carter Curtin up the boards. Sent in deep by Marquette. Back to retrieve the puck is Parker. Donald Parker will go up the wall, finds Atkinson as the Buccaneers are changing. Here comes Probert off the bench. Probert will work that one through on goal. DeWolf with the glove. Makes the save once again. There's a scrum in the high slot. Still 2-0 here at the SMC. We'll drop the puck to the glove side of the Wolf. One back to the line. There's a shot. Will go in front. Rebound is there. Kept out. Rebound in the crease. They lock it in. Mason Harlow finds a loose puck, and it is 3-0. Harlow has 2 goals tonight. The captain willing his team, trying to extend their season. There's a timeout called by Connor Miller. We'll take a quick break up here in the booth. Bucks just scored to make it 3-0. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back inside the SMC. Buccaneers with their season on the line. Just scored to make it 3-0. Mason Harlow has 2 of those goals. He has the most recent one as well, as he just found a loose puck in the crease and extended the lead. There's McKenzie over to Singer. Up for McIver. Jackson McIver will throw it across the ice just out of the reach of Cochran, and that will be an icing call against the Thunder as we just passed the halfway mark of regulation. 9:58 to go in the second. Roach will take the face-off against Uloth to the blocker side to Wolf. Puck dropped. Singer finds a loose puck. Here's Cooper Singer over to Lex McKenzie. McKenzie will throw it across the ice. Go off a stick of Probert. Here's Roach. As Mara finds it, it's going to come free. Cochran will play to the wall. Kept in by Mara. Here's Jude Cochran. Cochran for McIver. He finds Uloth. Trent Uloth, 2-on-2 shot will go off the stick of Mara, and that will deflect out of play. Nine and a half to go. There's a dust up in front of the Thunder bench. Looking to get back in this game. Puck is dropped. One back. Here's Myra. Myra up the wall. Looking for Probert out of his reach. Shot will go into the glove of Callum Kelly. .9:24 to go. Gagnon against Roach. Puck dropped. Here's Myra. Myra will flick it up and out of play. That will be another whistle. Gagnon and Roach once again inside the Buccaneers zone. Puck hits the ice. One back. Here is Myra. That will go off his skate. Comes straight for Gagnon. Poked free. Kelly gets the rebound as well. Kelly has not seen a ton of action yet, but has been sharp when he's had to be. Still a 2-0 score for his team. Both sides make some changes. Rennie, Cochran, and Baird out there with Pitts and Parker on the blue line. Roach still out there. He'll take the face-off. Puck is dropped. One back. Here's a shot on goal. Rebound in the crease, but cleared away. Here's Curtin. Carter Curtin puts the brakes on in the corner. Looking for an option. He'll look up ice. Curtin will stretch it down through the middle. That's going to reach a stick of McClellan, and that will be an icing call as that missed the stick. Not reached. Another whistle. 9 minutes to go exactly on the nose in the second period. Cochran against Roach for the face-off to the blocker side of Kelly. Puck hits the ice. One back is a shot up to the stick and into the glove of Kelly. And now his teammates can change if they choose to do so. And it looks like they will. Puck dropped. Parker will throw it in deep. Baird had that bounce over his stick. Here's Theoharopoulos. That's going to be kept in at the line by Pitts. Dodge finds the puck up for Theoharopoulos. He'll flick it through center. Mahoney looking for it in the forecheck as Parker gets there first. Up for Maddox Rennie. Rennie will work it in the zone. Here come the Thunder. Rennie will try and get by Dodge in the corner. Still has the puck. Put it to the line. Here's Parker. Parker will walk it in. Shoot one. Tipped on goal just wide of the net. Rebound comes loose down low. Here's Jude Cochran. Cochran for the Fundy Thunder. Has to the top of the circle on the far side. We'll try and play it over across. Turned over. Here come the Buccaneers. There's a shot from distance. That's going to be gloved down by Callum the Wolf. As Gwyn Timothy did not have the Jets to spring himself for the breakaway. Face-off will be inside the Thunder zone to the glove side of Callum the Wolf. Gavin Moore will take the face-off against Luke Marquette. Puck dropped. One back by the Thunder. Van Tassel will go D-to-D as Warwick finds it. Singer back for Warwick. That's going to be played up ahead. Here comes Gavin Moore with the puck. Moore will chip it in the zone. It's going to come free for Bailey. Bailey trying to work it over to his partner. It's going to come free for Atkinson on the forecheck. Bailey gets it back. Bailey up the wall is pinching in his Singer. Keeps the play inside the zone. That will eventually poke free as Lex McKenzie gets there first to prevent a 2-on-0 perhaps. So there's a reverse hit on Moore from Sullivan. Another hit along the wall. Very physical game here in Upper Tantallon. Here's Bailey in the corner against Moore. It's going to come free. Worked up ahead by Marquette. Comes free for Cooper Singer. He'll walk in and let a shot go through the screen. Rebounds there! Kept out! Kelly makes the save with a pad. Here come the Buccaneers the other way as Murphy will flip it on goal. The Wolf makes a save. What a stop from Callum Kelman on the other side. Keeps his team up by 3 goals. Grade A chance in front of the net. Thunder cannot solve the Buccaneers netminder, Kelly. Great save from number 30 just a few moments ago. .7:19 to go in the period. Puck dropped. One back. Here's a chance in front. That's going to go off the side of the cage. Play down low for Probert. Looking to center it. It's going to go off a stick. Comes free up top. Bellin. Shot will go off a shin pad. I believe that was Cochran who got in front of that one. Another centering pass. Comes free up top for Bellin. Over to Myra. Myra back for Bellin. Bellin trying to get by Cochran. Comes free for Probert. Ulof will force him down low. Here's Morrison. Back for Probert. Probert across for Myra. Carter Myra will pick a shot and eventually shoot one low. Trying to redirect it off the end wall. It's going to come free for the Thunder. Looking to clear. That will be chipped down the ice. Not enough for icing as Bellin got a piece of it. Castle Bellin has McIver on the forecheck. It's going to come free in the corner for the Thunder. McIver will play it down low off a body. Comes free on the opposite side as Van Tassel can't hold the line. That's going to be played in deep. Here's Laba. Lado with 6.5 to go in the second. Up for McIver. It's going to be chipped up ahead. Picked off by Bella and over to Myra. As that will be played back inside the Thunder zone. As that will be an icing call against the Buccaneers. 6.25 to go in the second. Face-off will be to the glove side of Callum Kelly. He's had a great game. He's been sharp when he's had to be. As official having a conversation with the Thunder coaches, which gives the Buccaneers a chance to catch their breath off the icing. So they're ready to go here. Moore up against Morrison for the face-off. As a bit of a few stick checks before the draw. They'll kick out both players from the face-off, which gives the, or no, just Moore. So a lot of delays there before this face-off. Puck is eventually dropped. That's going to be sent off the netting, and that will stop play and give it a chance for the Buccaneers to change if they want to, and they will. Roach, Pridham, Murphy, and Bailey went out there. Moore against Roach this time for the face-off. Puck is dropped. One back for Pitts. There's a few tangled up in front of the net. Pitts' shot will go into the glove of Kelly, and there'll be no rebound. Another face-off. Thunder make a few changes in the forward front. Ulof will take the draw. Puck hits the ice. Scrum face-off. Play a little line for Pitts. Pitts back down low for Cochran. Cochran trying to work it towards the goal. It's going to have a body and wide. Chance for the Bucks to clear. It's going to be sent off the glass. Glove down by Parker. Parker over across for Cochran. One-touch passing for Ulof. That's going to be intercepted off the stick of Murphy. Played in deep. Bailey back to retrieve it. Bailey. For McClellan. McClellan will try and chip it out of the zone. Kept in by Rennie. Rennie down low for Ulof. One touch for Cochran. Just trying to feed him back door, but it's going to be picked off by Jude Pridham. Or Jaden Pridham, rather. There's a hit on the blue line. Puck comes free the other way. Here is Ulof. Ulof has his stick lifted. Plays it across to go off the side of the net. Puck free down low. 5:20 to go in the period. Looking to center it down low is Ulof. That will be cleared down the ice. And that will not be enough for icing. Here's Parker. Parker will stretch a pass up through center for Cochran. Here comes Jude Cochran. Enters the zone on the near side. Cochran looking to play it towards the goal off the pad of Kelly, and he'll carve up the rebound as well. Exactly 5 minutes to go in the second. Puck is dropped to the left side of Kelly. Worked ahead. Picked off by Curtin, but intercepted and neutralized by Singer. Comes free for Theoropoulos, as that's going to be played in deep. It'll bounce off the M wall right into the glove of Callum DeWolfu. Will freeze play. Clock still running in the rink. I believe that was about 12 seconds taken off there. We'll see what they put up on the board. This looks like they'll just freeze play for a bit. And that will be covered up. So instead of resetting the clock, they're just going to play it out for however much time they thought was ran down. Puck dropped again, as now the clock is running. That's going to be played in the center of the ice. Bucks have it. Here's Curtin up the wall, finds Harlow. Harlow has 2 goals tonight, looking to extend the Buccaneers season. As that'll be worked in deep. Here's Cooper Singer in the corner. Singer avoids the hit, makes the play up the wall. Here's Frazier. Frazier up for White. That'll bounce off of his stick. And it's free for Curtin. Curtin gets by White. A nice escape move. Played up ahead for Morrison out of his reach. McKenzie has the puck on his stick. Over to Cooper Singer. Singer looking to get by Probert on the forecheck. That's going to be played to the corner. Turned over. Here's White with a chance to clear. Played off the boards. Sent back in deep. Inside the final 4 minutes of the second. Here's Cooper Singer. Singer will rim it around the wall. Kept in by Myra. Myra will play it back in deep. That'll make its way to the opposite wall. Comes free for Harlow. Harlow and Mahoney looking to make a play. Picked off by Atkinson. Here comes Ethan Atkinson. Whizzed over. Here's Moore. Moore can handle the pass cleanly. Gavin Moore will play it ahead for Atkinson. Picked off by Bellin in the corner. Moore finds a loose puck. Poked off of his stick. Here's Probert. Looking to clear. Kept in by Laba. Laba shot low. Tipped just wide off a shin pad. Here's Myra. Cycle pass turned over. That'll bounce off a stick of Moore down low. Here's Laba again. Shot blocked this time. Comes free behind the net. Here's Warwick. Warwick up for Laba. Laba will corral it at the blue line. Looking for a lane. He'll play it back down low for Warwick. Warwick sent towards the goal but wide of the net. Pinching in is Ulof, keeping the play inside the zone. Van Tassel in the corner. It's free behind the net. Here's Moore. It's tangled up by Bellin. 2:45 remaining in the second. Probert has it now in his own zone, looking to spin off a check. Probert pinned to the wall. 2-on-2 on the half wall on the near side inside the Buccaneers zone. Puck finds Laba. He'll go over to Van Tassel. We'll work it in deep. Myra back to retrieve the puck. Myra gets taken down behind the net. Good forecheck by Atkinson. Puck comes free. Laba pinching ahead. Keeps the play inside the zone. Laba shot towards the goal off the stick of the goaltender. Here's Cochran off the bench. Jude Cochran up for Warwick. Warwick shot blocked. That will ricochet its way over the net. Here's McIver. Van Tassel over to Moore. Moore fans on the shot. That will just escape the zone. Good pressure over the Thunder. But cannot solve the goaltender. They almost beat him there off the dump in. Wouldn't have counted as the Thunder were offside. Here's Mahoney. Mahoney behind the net. Inside 2 minutes to go in the second. That's going to bounce over to McIver off the turnover. He'll play it in deep. Ulof looking for the loose puck. Comes free from Jackson McIver. McIver looking to make a play. He'll make a nice spin move. McIver steals the puck. Will work it down low for Rennie. Maddox Rennie will try and work it in front. Trying to whack it out of midair was McIver, but just whiffs on that one. Here's Parker. Played up ahead. Sullivan looking to clear. 1:20 to go in the second period. It's going to come free. Worked up ahead by Sullivan. Here's Marquette. Pushed off the puck. Parker has it. Parker trying to get by the forecheck. Has it on his backhand with 70 seconds to go. Here's Pitts. Back for Parker. That'll bounce off of his stick. Comes free. It's going to be sent in deep by Bailey. There's Murphy. Final minute of play now in the second. There's Marquette. Over to Krause. Krause back up top for Bailey. He'll walk the line over to Murphy. Murphy will like a shot over the top of the circle off the knob with a stick and wide. There's Ulof. Will send it down the ice, and will that be enough for icing? And it will be. 40 seconds to go in the second. Buccaneers holding on to a 3-0 lead. Mason Harlow has 2 of those goals, and Jaden Pridham has the other one. Marquette against Ulof for the face-off. Puck dropped. Here's Krause. Up the wall. Finds Bailey over to Murphy. Murphy will walk in and shoot one low. Looking for the tip in front. That will miss the sticks in front of the crease. As that will be played outside of the playing surface, and that will stop play. About 30 seconds remaining in the second. A lot of whistles here in the middle frame. Puck dropped. One back. Here's McKenzie over to Singer. Up for Warwick. Warwick through the middle. Finds Atkinson. 20 seconds remaining. Atkinson looking for a lane. He'll shoot one low off the pad. Rebounds there. That's going to be cleared behind the net. 13 seconds. Puck still down deep. Picked off. There's Sullivan. Monbercat has it. As he'll flick it through center. Sent back in deep by the Thunder. 4 seconds to go. Murphy will pin it to the wall, and that's going to do it for the period. The Buccaneers will take a 3-0 lead into the third. Zamboni heading onto the ice for the Flood. You're watching High Button Sports coverage of Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League playoffs. Thunder up in the series, but down by 3 heading to the third period. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Upper Tantallon. You're watching game number 2 of this best of 3 provincial play-in series between the Fundy Thunder and the Martello Buccaneers in the Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League. Thunder won game 1 on Monday, 5-3 in Truro. The series now shifts over to Upper Tantallon, and the Buccaneers here at home have a 3-0 lead after 40 minutes of play. Mason Harlow has a pair of those goals, the first and the third, while Jaden Pridham scored the second one. That's our story so far. Shots are 34-18 in favor of the Buccaneers. Callum DeWolf doing all he can, but the Buccaneer offense a little too strong. Callum Kelly on the other side, 18 for 18. He's made some big saves and big moments to keep his team up by 3 goals, looking to extend the Buccaneers season. 20 minutes remaining here in regulation. Will it be the Thunder who will come back and head on over to member 2, or will this series go the distance? Will the Buccaneers win? Moore against Roach at center ice, and we are underway here in the third. As Roach will find it and try and chip it in deep. Picked off. Here's Murphy. He'll play it around the wall. He's going to come free in the corner. Here's Cooper Singer. That's McClellan in on him on the forecheck. 2-on-2 down low. Comes free. Play the line. Here's Bailey trying to pass it over. Fanned on it, but makes the play to McClellan. Shot through the screen. Kept out by DeWolf as he reaches back to make the save and freeze play. Face-off will be inside the Thunder zone. No changes on either side. 26 seconds into the third. Roach against Moore once again. Puck drop on the corner. Here's Singer against McClellan. There's a hit from Pridham in the corner. Comes free for Gavin Moore. And that's going to be a penalty on the play. It looks like. Looks like they'll take both. Singer heading the box as well. You can hear the crowd's reaction on that one. So Pridham and Singer will head to the box. Roughing and tripping are the calls. Pridham goes for trip. So it'll remain 5-on-5. You can hear the reaction from both sides of the crowd up here in the stands. Probert, Harlow, and Morrison will head out there with Curtin and Dodge. Warwick, Moore, Atkinson, Pitts, and Parkle are the 5 out there for the Thunder, as the head coach Connor Miller wants an explanation from the referee. Just past 4 o'clock local time here in Upper Tantallon as we shift into the evening. Puck is finally dropped. Scrum draw. Comes free for Pitts. Pitts will go back out the wall for Warwick. Warwick through center looking for Moore. That will be ahead of him. There's Curtin. He'll let that puck go to his stick and play it up ahead. Harlow will chip it into the zone. Moore looking for the puck. Comes free for Atkinson. Atkinson met there at the blue line as that will be sent in deep by Gavin Moore. No icing's a signal. Here's Dodge as he takes a hit from Warwick. Puck will bounce over the stick of Probert. Here comes Morrison. Morrison's shot will go into the glove of DeWolf off the dump in, and that will stop play. 1 minute and 9 seconds into the third. A lot of whistles in the second period, and there's been a lot in the first few moments of the third as well. Morrison will stay out there with Harlow and Probert. Puck dropped. One back. Here's Mara Horman around the wall. Back to retrieve is Van Tassel. Van Tassel battling with Mara, who came pinching through. It's going to come free in the corner. 2-on-2 down low. There's Probert. Probert over up for Mara. Mara's shot will try and sift that one through. That will go off a shin pad and hits the ceiling, and that will stop play. Exactly a minute and a half into the third of game number 2. Puck dropped. One back by the Bucks. Here's Probert. Shot from Myra will be blocked on its way through. Probert finds a rebound, sent on goal, stopped by DeWolf. Rebound to the corner. Here's Baird. Baird will flick it up and high, trying to escape the zone. That will bounce over the stick of Cochran. Him and Harlow battle for possession. Harlow will play it back for Bellin. Pass through center will miss everybody, and that will be icing. It's still 2-0 here at the St. Margaret Center. Ulov, McIver, and Warwick out there for the zone draw off the icing with Parker and Pitts at the blue line. Puck dropped. One back. Parker takes the pass from Pitts. That's going to be worked in deep. Here's Ulov looking at center. That will miss the stick in front. Chance for Probert to clear. It's going to be worked to the opposite wall. Bucks could use a change here after the icing. Here's Warwick. They'll play it in deep. Up the wall, here's Probert. Probert looking to clear. That will get past the blue line. Probert can now change. It's going to bounce out the skate of McIver. Here's Pitts back to retrieve the puck in the corner. Simon Pitts will get past the forecheck. Will try and stretch a pass. He'll go off the glass instead. Here's Bailey. D-to-D over to Murphy. Murphy through center. That will bounce off the stick of Mombercat into the zone off his backhand. Parker against Mombercat for the loose puck. Mombercat gets there first. Over to Krause. Up for Sullivan out of his reach, and that will get past Bailey at the blue line as well. Bailey forced to retreat in his own zone. He'll go up the boards looking for a stretch pass for Krause. Krause will work it ahead. Puck comes free, whacked away. Warwick will corral the bouncing puck. Sent up through center, picked off by Krause. Krause in the middle for Sullivan. Good poke check in the slot from McIver. Prevents a possible scoring chance. Here's Zulov, can't clear. Poked free by Warwick. Comes free for McIver. Here come the Thunder. McIver trying to get through into the zone. That's going to be offside. 10 seconds past the 3-minute mark of the third. They'll drop the puck just outside the Buccaneers zone on the near side. Gagnon will take the face-off against Mahoney. Puck dropped. One back. Here's Mahoney. Over to Curtin. DD pass finds Dodge. Dodge looking up through center. It's going to be intercepted as the Thunder have possession. It's going to bounce off the stick of Frazier. Comes free for Gagnon. Gagnon will work it into the zone. He takes a hit in the process. Here's Curtin. Over to Dodge. Dodge will work it up ahead for Theo Harapoulos. Sent up by Mahoney. Mahoney gets it right back. Mahoney over to Gwyn Timothy. Shot just goes wide. Nice pass in front, but he cannot finish that one off. It was number 6, Gwyn Timothy. Here's Curtin. Up ahead as Singer intercepts the breakout pass. Singer will walk in and let a shot go off the shin pad at Curtin. Singer gets it back. There's Cooper Singer. Makes a few moves in the bottom of the circle. Pass in front. Gagnon redirects it on goal, but stopped with the glove by Callum Kelly. Just past the 4-minute mark of the third. Rennie against Roach for the draw inside the Buccaneers zone. There's a shot off the face-off that will go off the body and wide. Here's Van Tassel. Shot will sail up and high over the net, looking to go over the shoulder of Callum Kelly. That will be dumped in off the pad of the Buccaneers goaltender. Worked in deep by Rennie. There's Baird, back down low. Maddox Rennie has it behind the net, looking for an option. Rennie to the line, finds Laba. Laba shot low, tipped just wide. Here's McClellan. McClellan up top, kept in by Van Tassel. Shot will go out the sticking into the corner by Callum Kelly. That one two's on the wall. 15.5 to go in the third. Comes free, sent on goal by the Thunder, looking to get back in this game. Here's Myra. Myra will send it down the ice, and that should be an icing call. But McClellan will nullify the call as he gets there first on the forecheck. McClellan gets pinned to the wall, comes free for Roach. He'll get tangled up with Baird down low, 2-on-2. Behind the net, here's McClellan, up for Bailey. Bailey, DDD pass, finds Murphy. Murphy looking for a lane, will let a shot go, that will go wide of the net. There's Van Tessel, he'll work it up ahead. Bailey holds the zone. Bailey will play the opposite corner. Here's Roach. Up top, finds Murphy. Murphy's shot will go off a skate in front. Here's Laba, up for Cochran. That'll bounce over his stick. Sent up ahead. Here come the Buccaneers. Pridham has it. A little Sasha through the middle for McClellan and picked off. Here's Van Tessel with some time and space. He'll flick it through center looking to get a bounce, but Bailey corrals the puck. Will go D-to-D over to Murphy. Up ahead, here's Pridham. Pridham can't get into the zone. Parker finds it over to Van Tessel. Up through center finds Jude Cochran. Cochran enters the zone and will play it towards the opposite corner. There's Bailey. Bailey for the Bucks. Has the puck behind the net. Will leave it for Murphy. Murphy will rim it up the wall for Pridham. Pridham looking for an option. Will go off the boards. It's going to be poked up ahead. Here comes Mombercat looking for the loose puck, but can't get by the defender. That was Pitts. Here's Moore. Moore will avoid the hit from Krause. That's going to be flipped into the Buccaneers bench, and that will stop play. 12 seconds past the 6-minute mark of the third. Still 3-0 here in Upper Tantallon. Bucks looking to force a game 3 tomorrow. Thunder looking to end this series tonight and punch their ticket to number 2. Puck is dropped. Here's Krause. He'll get hit off the puck and it's free for Parker. Max Donald Parker will get by Mombercat, who has no stick. Comes free near the blue line. Here's Atkinson. Atkinson makes a move, but gets hit off the puck by Curtin. That will be collected and cleared off the glass by Bailey. That was dodge, rather, and that will be icing. Another whistle here in the third period. We'll check in on the Valley and Kings game over in Sackville. Let's see what the score is over there. 2-1 for the Kings. About halfway through the second. Kings could punch their ticket to provincials with the win. That's going to be a glove save off the face-off by Callum Kelly. Kelly up to 23 saves now. Thunder having the better team here in the third, looking to get back into game 2. Puck dropped. Gonna come free in the circle. There's McIver. Played down low. Dodge finds it, but Uloth will disrupt him in the corner. Comes free. Rennie looking to work it up to the line for McKenzie. It's gonna hit a body on its way up top. Comes free for Dodge. Dodge will rim it around the wall. That will bounce off the stick of Singer and out of the zone. Here's Lex McKenzie behind his own net. McKenzie up for Rennie. That will bounce off of his stick and comes free for Bellin. Bellin gets by Rennie, still has the puck. Bellin's shot will go off the stick of McKenzie and out of play. Seven minutes and 10 seconds have gone here in the third. No scoring yet in this final frame. Gagnon in for the draw against Morrison. To the glove side of DeWolf. As Morrison will get kicked out. In comes Harlow. Puck dropped. Under the corner. DD pass McKenzie. Over to Singer. There's Cooper Singer. He'll lead the rush for the Thunder. It's going to be chipped in deep. Kelly lets it play it. He'll go up the wall. Finds Myra. Comes free for Probert. Probert looking to stretch Harlow, who's on hat-trick watch with 2 goals. It's going to come free. Here comes Harlow towards the goal. Shot off the pad of DeWolf. Another chance sent towards the goal, but fanned on. Here comes Gagnon the other way. Gagnon can't get by Myra as his neck guard falls off. It's going to be played by McKenzie. Over to Van Tessel, up for White. White will chip into the zone. Here's Bellin now. Castle Bellin. Up for Gwyn Timothy. It's going to be chipped in deep. Theo Harapoulos in on the forecheck. It's going to come free out the wall. Battle ensues in the corner looking for the loose puck. Moore digs it free. Here comes Gavin Moore. Up for Warwick. Warwick up through center finds Atkinson. Atkinson looking to get by the defender. That's Dodge as Atkinson works it in deep. Atkinson will go skate to stick on the goal line. Will shoot towards the goal. Tipped on net. They score. The Thunder strike here in the third. Ethan Atkinson gets the Thunder on the board. It is now a 3-1 score here in Upper 10 Town. The Fundy Thunder have life here in game 2. Hit a body on its way to the net. Atkinson will take credit for the goal. It's the 2-goal lead now for the Bucks. That will be sent in deep by Warwick. That's going to bounce off the wall. Kelly will play it back in deep. Gwyn Timothy in the corner. Will work it ahead for Curtin. Curtin looking to stretch a pass for Theo Harapoulos. Gets the bounce. Here comes Theo Harapoulos. Shot will go wide. Rebounds there. Here's another chance. Gwyn Timothy scores! Bucks get it right back. Owen Gwyn Timothy finds the rebound off the end wall. And it is a 3-goal lead once more for the Martello Buccaneers. Back-to-back quick goals on each side. Just as the Thunder struck, Buccaneers get it right back. 4-1 is your score. Puck is dropped. One back, here's Rennie. Rennie will play it back for Pitts. That will be sent in deep. Here's Bailey, has McIver on the forecheck. He'll get taken down with a body check. Roach finds the puck. Roach up the wall. That will get past Pridham, who had his stick lifted. No icing's the call. Here's Parker. That's going to be turned over. Here's Pridham down low. Jaden Pridham. 2-on-2 develops behind the net to the glove side of DeWolf. Comes free. Here's Rennie. As that will be played back into the boards. Comes free again. Chance to clear for Rennie. Kept in. Here's McClellan. McClellan's going to work it toward the net. It's going to go off a stick. Poked free. Here comes McIver with Rennie. Finds him. Rennie puts the brakes on and shoots one on goal. Stopped by Kelly. No rebound. Shots now 39-25 for the Buccaneers. They have a 3-goal lead in the third. Baird in for the draw. Puck is dropped. One back. Here's White. Shot. Rebounds there. Cleared away by Murphy. Chipped off the wall. Kept in by Cooper Singer. Singer has the puck. Kind of working in deep. Gets taken down by Pridham with a body check. Pridham finds it again. Will get pinned to the boards. Sent towards the goal. Penalty on the way. Let's see what the call is here. Cross-checking's a signal. It will go against the Bucks. Thunder have a chance to get back in this game. Trying to cut the lead in half. Or make it a 2-goal lead, I should say, or 2-goal deficit. Not sure what my math was saying there, but we're halfway through the third. 10 minutes to go exactly on the nose, on the dot. Pridham takes the penalty. Ulof, Rennie, Singer, Van Tessel, and Warwick out there for the power play. Thunder showing a lot of confidence in their AP defenseman. Puck dropped. Here's Singer. Cooper Singer. Over for Rennie. Rennie will get poked out the puck. That's going to be sent down the ice by Kraus. DeWolf out to play it. We'll go backhand over for his teammate. That's Ulof. Ulof up for Maddox Rennie. Here come the Thunder. Rennie will drag. Trying to get by the defender. That's Curtin, but unable to do so. As Dodge gets the last touch on that one. Kept in, there's a shot. It's going to be blocked on its way through and cleared down the ice. Wolf retrieves the puck from behind his own net. Leaves it for Singer. Cooper Singer holds on the puck as Fantessel was swinging low. Here's Rennie looking to work it through the middle. His pass off a skate comes free for Warwick. Warwick will work it into the corner. Gets pinned to the boards by Dodge. But there's a scrum in the corner. Dodge throwing some cross checks. Will play on. Here's Rennie. Going to work it off the wall. It's going to come free up top. Kept in by Van Tessel. Play to the wall. Van Tessel up for Singer. Singer that will bounce off of his stick. Here comes Krause with the puck. Krause will leisurely play that down the ice. 45 seconds to go on the power play for the Buccaneers. Here's Ulof. Leaves it for McIver. Jackson McIver has the puck on his stick. Will lead the rush on the power play. McIver takes it wide on the far side. Will get it in deep. McIver has more in front of the net, but Murphy picks his pocket. Murphy will clear it down, but gloved down by Baird. Just past the blue line. Doesn't go all the way into the Thunder zone. Here's McIver over to Baird. Baird enters the Buccaneers' end. He'll put the brakes on the half wall. Sets up on the power play. Baird up top will shoot one towards the goal. It's going to be blocked. Played in the corner. Here's Atkinson. Atkinson has the only goal for the Thunder tonight. Clearing attempt kept in. Shot puck is bouncing. Gloved down by Kelly. And that will be whistled. Kelly finds the glove, or finds the puck of his glove. 1 second to go on the Fundy power play. Pridham looking to get out of the box. Puck is dropped. That's going to do it for the Thunder power play. Back to 5 apiece. That's going to be too many men on the ice. The Thunder will head right back to the power play. Bench minor for Daryl Joseph and company. So another chance for this Thunder power play to strike. Warwick, Singer, Rennie, Ulof, and Van Tessel will head back out there for this man advantage. Puck dropped. Here's Van Tessel on the half wall, looking for a lane. Will play it up top. Finds Ulof. Ulof will play it back for Van Tessel. Van Tessel pass across. Rennie fans on the one-timer. Might have gotten a piece of the defender's stick. Either way, it sails out of play, and it's still 4-1. Ulof there for the draw against Mahoney. Puck dropped, one back. Play to the line. Here's Van Tessel. Up for Singer. Singer down low. One-timer from Rennie will just go across the ice. Here's Ulof down low for Van Tessel. Up for Singer through the slot. It's going to bounce off of his skate. Stays inside the zone. Here's Rennie. Plays it over for Ulof, the captain, down low for Van Tessel. Van Tessel looking to feed it across for Rennie. Finds him. Maddox Rennie will play it back for Van Tessel on the half wall. Up for Singer. Singer will make his way over to the wall on the near side. Singer. That's going to bounce off the stick of Rennie. Kept in by Singer at the line. Singer takes a hit. That's going to be kept in by Maddox Rennie. Rennie pass across. It's going to bounce on his way to the net. Rebounds there. Unable to whack that one home with the Thunder. Van Tessel on the doorstep. Puck comes free. Chance to clear for the Bucks. It's going to get past the blue line. Last man back is Ulof. Has Mahoney on him. That's going to be played to the wall. Here comes Singer with the puck. 50 seconds to go in the power play. Here's Van Tessel. Van Tessel gets the blue line. He'll chip it in deep. Rims its way around the wall. Here's Dodge. With a chance to clear. Kept in by Atkinson. It's going to come free for Probert. He'll jam it into the boards. Chance to clear. And that will be sent down the ice. The Wolf will play it with his stick. Leaves it for Pitts. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Pitts will leave it behind the net. Fakes the drop pass. Holds on to it. It's going to come free. McIver has it. Trying to work it in the zone as he collides with Bailey. Probert takes over. Probert with a chance to clear that will get through the defenders, and that will be sent down. Here's DeWolf with the puck on his stick. We'll play it over to McIver. Down low for Pitts. And that's going to do it for the Thunder power play. So 2 big kills for the Buccaneers back to back. That'll be played in the corner. 6 minutes to go here in the third. Bucks holding on to a 3-goal lead here in game 2, looking to extend their season. It's going to be turned over. Here's Morrison. Morrison will play it towards the net. Fought off the blocker of DeWolf. Played up top. Here's Murphy. Murphy will walk and shoot one. It's going to be stopped by DeWolf for the glove. That's Harlow looking for the rebound, and there's a scrum in the corner. Looks like we'll see a penalty here. Baird and Harlow will both sit. .5:34 remaining. Trying to see if this will be a power play or not. Roach and the referee at center ice are discussing the call. Daryl Joseph wants a conversation as well as he's near the bench. Bench door, I should say. Looks like it'll be 5-on-5 still. Roach will take the draw against Gagnon. Puck dropped. One back for Bailey. Bailey's shot will be tipped on goal off the pad of DeWolf, who makes the save. There's Keegan Frazier with the puck. Gets past the red line on the blue. Trying to feed over to Gagnon, stringing towards the middle, but that's going to be off the stick. Played through center. Picked off by White. Here's Jack White with the puck. White will make his way to the wall. Comes free off the boards. Here is a chance for Frazier, fought off by the goaltender. Rebounds there. Kelly makes a save and covers up. And here we go, a scrum in the corner. Daryl Joseph, the head coach, saying, hey, we just got a penalty for doing the same thing to their goalie. Looks like they will call White for goal interference. So they'll send a player on each side of the box, so it won't be a power play. Penalty box is filling up here late in the third period of game 2. Puck is dropped. Play to the corner. 5 minutes to go now in the period. The final period of regulation. Comes free on the wall. Played in deep by McIver. Battle ensues for the loose puck. There's a hit on the wall. Chance for Marquette to the way. Here comes Luke Marquette looking to go wide. He'll take a hit in the corner as he enters the zone. Here's Krause down low. I'll go off the side of the net. Krause up top. There's a shot from Bell, and that's going to make its way off the pad. DeWolf rebounds there. Marquette will deflect up and out of play. Hits the netting. 4.5 to go in the third. 3-goal lead for the Buccaneers. If they're able to hold on, this game will be won by them, and the series will go the distance. Game 3 will be tomorrow here at the SMC. Marquette against Moore. Puck dropped. There's Warwick with the puck on his stick. 2-on-2 with McKenzie. Shot off the rush. Will go off a shin pad into the corner. Cycled in deep. Warwick finds Atkinson. Will get taken to the wall. Cleared off the glass. Comes free. Here's Krause. Krause will put up ahead. Here come the Buccaneers. Sent towards the goal. Tipped on net. Rebound stopped as well by the Wolf. And there's a scrum after the whistle blew. Marquette tangled up on the side of the net with McKenzie. That's Warwick, rather. Inside 4 minutes now remaining in the third. 4:30 local time here in Upper Tantallon. Looks like Atkinson's heading the box for 4 minutes. So it will be a late Bucks power play. Thunder fans have not been happy with the officiating today. Not sure if the microphone can hear them. Discussion between the referees and some leaders on both sides. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard if I have a chance, I guess. So 2-1 in the second intermission. Kings over the Valley as we're ready to go here in this one. 4-minute power play for the Bucks with 3:53 remaining. They're up by 3 goals here in game 2, looking to send the series to game 3. Puck comes free, chance to clear for the Thunder, and they will do so. Might see some fireworks at the end of this one. Here's Roach over to Curtin. Curtin trying to get by Gagnon. He'll play it back in his own zone. Here's Carter Curtin. Curtin up ahead, looking for McClellan. It's going to be picked off by McKenzie as McClellan gets a piece of him. Here's Roach. Roach over to Curtin. Curtin will play it back over for Roach. Roach will take his time inside his own zone, plays it back for Curtin. Buck's just trying to kill off the rest of this clock here. Here comes Carter Curtin with the puck. Enters the zone on the near side. Curtin towards the middle with a chance for Prober. Backhander just goes off the post. He had the Wolf beat clean but cannot find the back of the net. Here's McClellan up for Roach. Roach shot will go off a body in front. That's Probert, and that will be cleared down the ice. Here's Kelly over to Curtin. Curtin trying to get by Moore on the forward check. Plays it back into his own corner. Sent up ahead. Here's Bailey. Over to Krause on the opposite side. So he's met there by 2 Thunder players. Big collision there near the blue line. Here's Bailey. 2.5 to go in the third. Bailey on the power play for the Buccaneers. On the blue line. Up for Bellin. It's going to be picked off and sent down the ice by Van Tessel. Kelly will cover up the puck as Moore is looking to take it free. 2:11 to go here in the third. Face off to the close side of Kelly. Buck's still on the power play. Here's Bailey. Here's it down low for Bellin. There's Castle Bellin back for Bailey. Bailey will play it across the ice. Picked up. It's going to be rimmed around the wall by Theo Harapoulos. Sent in deeper is Van Tassel over to Laba. Laba with a chance to clear, and he will do just that. Kelly collects the puck with his stick, leaves it down low. 1:40 to go here in the third. Here's Kraus. Kraus takes it wide. Trying to get by Van Tassel. Kraus will play it behind the net. Back up top. Here's a chance in front as Bailey couldn't finish off the feed from number 17. That is Ben Sullivan. As there's a bit of a dust up as the whistle blew from between McIver and Bellin. 82 seconds remaining here in regulation of game 2. Morrison in for the face-off against Baird. Puck dropped, one back, here's Murphy. Murphy over across for Roach. Roach will walk it in, shoot one off the blocker of DeWolf. Makes the save, here's Harlow. 70 seconds remaining here in the third. Play to the wall. McClellan up for Murphy. Murphy's shot will be blocked. Gets it right back. Murphy, another chance. Will go off the blocker. Rebound kept out. Harlow on the doorstep looking for the hat-trick goal. DeWolf denies him. Exactly 1 minute to go now in the third period. Face-off will be to the left side of DeWolf. Puck drop, one back, here's Murphy. Murphy over to McClellan. Shot will make its way on net off the deflection. Puck dropped again, one back, here's Murphy. Murphy plays it over. Roach will walk it in, shoot one off the blocker. Rebound cleared away. Here's Roach. Down low for Harlow. 44 seconds to go in the third. Harlow up top finds Murphy. Murphy shot through the screen will be tipped up and high. Puck is bouncing. Chance to clear. Kept in. Here's Roach to Murphy. One-timer low. Tipped just wide by Morrison. Here's Harlow. 30 seconds remaining here in the third. Morrison over to Harlow. Harlow up top for Murphy. Murphy will walk it and shoot one up the pad. Rebounds there. Scores. Mason Harlow has the hat trick here in game 2. The captain comes up big with the season on the line. Looks like the Buccaneers will live to see another day, and that day will be tomorrow here at the SMC for game number 3. 5-1 to score now. A 4-goal spread late here in the third. Power play goal for Mason Harlow. That's his third of the evening. Here's a pass intercepted by Parker. Parker will try and dance by the defender. And that's going to be cleared down the ice. And this series is going the distance, folks. Buccaneers have forced to game 3. We will see you tomorrow night here at the Fountain. 4:15 is the game time for a third and deciding game of this series. Winner will move on to member 2. Callum Kelly, 29 saves for the win. Thank you so much for tuning into this one. 5-1's the final. Mason Harlow with the hat trick. Buccaneers force the game 3, which will be tomorrow at 4:15 here at the Fountain. Thank you so much for watching this one. My name is Nathan the Knight here with iBud Sports. We will see you tomorrow.